very touched, Raven. Skylar was so kind.
Oh, he's a sweetheart, didn't you know that?
Still, he made me feel so welcome here. I must admit I was a bit concerned, since the invitation did come from you alone.
Well, it was his idea, too. Look, you just have to forget about that little brat you used to know, the old Sky Whitney. This is a brand new version.
Still, I felt a little guilty about intruding on you two newlyweds.
Oh, but you're helping our marriage. That man of mine leaves here at the crack of dawn. He doesn't come home till 8 or 9 o'clock. Believe me, I'm glad you're here.
Yes, he did say he was appreciative to have me around to keep you company. But you should be with young friends, too, Raven. There was a time when you were so close to April Scout.
Well, she went abroad. She'll probably have her baby overseas. And I'll have no one to talk to and no one to get advice from.
When we were living together, you never seemed very interested in my advice.
Well, I always wanted to hear it.
As opposed to following it.
Come on, you've always been more of a mother to me than Nadine. I need you here, I really do. Now that I'm married, I have so many more decisions to make. As a matter of fact, I have a very important decision to make right now.
And what would that be?
Please help me with this. Say you will.
You know, I'll do anything I can to help.
I can't make up my mind. I just don't know which car I want to buy. I don't know if I want the Mercedes, the Rolls Royce, the Cadillac, or one of these sports cars.
Is that your idea of it?
Will you pardon me if I don't die laughing?
Oh, yeah. See, you just didn't break his leg, Gunther. I mean, you ruined his whole career. He could never dance again. He'd love to get even.
If you're thinking of turning him on me, Mr. Whitney...
No. You're not following me, Gunther. You see, we were talking about the problem of Gavin Wiley. Wouldn't this solve it?
Well, what about my problem?
No, you're misunderstanding me, Gunther. What I'm talking about is this. What if Gavin thought that he killed you? Me about that gun that Gavin was bragging that he had, and I began to wonder whether he could ever use it.
Well, he won't get a chance. I'll wrap that little toy right around his neck.
Yeah, but what if he did use it, Gunther? What if he used that gun to shoot you dead?
Yeah, nothing like that's gonna happen.
Yeah, but what if something like that did happen, huh? We can get him to use that gun. I know we can. He's got every reason in the world to hate you, Gunther, and to fear you.
The hate is mutual, Mr. Whitney.
It's not just the broken leg. I mean, he would have sent you to prison if he could, but he didn't have any proof. It's also Jody Travis, his little girlfriend.
Look, I never laid a hand on her.
But not for lack of trying, Gunther. See, he's no longer just her dance teacher. He's her lover. He's crazy about it. That's the reason he threw the drink in your face.
Yeah, well, that's one he's gonna have to pay for, too.
That's right. We can both make him pay. And he can pay you very well.
Look, getting killed is not my idea of a payoff.
No. I'm talking about a joke, Gunther. A practical joke, yes. Very, very practical. You see, it'll make Gavin Wiley disappear. He'll be gone like last winter's snow, and Jody Travis will be here all by herself.
I still don't get it.
We stage it, Gunther. We stage the whole thing. Lord, if I can stage a ballet, I can stage a little two-character, one-act play.
Oh, I'm listening.
What we do is we create a situation in which he's got to use the gun. You see, he uses the gun to kill you, but what he doesn't know is it's loaded with blanks.
Oh, you mean we fooled him into thinking he killed me?
All it requires is a little acting, Gunther, and I can teach you anything you need to know.
Well, just forget the acting. Just teach me how to put the blanks in the guy's gun.
Find out where he keeps it. We get into the dance studio when he's not there, and we make the old switcheroo.
Oh, just like that.
Well, listen, Gunther, if you don't think you can manage it, then...
Well, now, wait, I didn't say that. I mean, hell, I can pick that door with a soft toothpick. I mean, that's the easy part.
Well, the easy part is going to be inciting him into using the gun. I mean, anybody who's got a loaded weapon around is just dying to use it.
And how does all this help you? I mean, how do you know Wiley's gonna run off just after the gun goes off?
I'll be there. I'll help him to run away, my old friend Gavin, if he needs to avoid a life sentence in prison. Oh, yes.
And what do I get out of it?
Well, Gunther, you'll be gone.
What?
You see, your body will have vanished, and it will suddenly reappear in some tropical island where you can spend, a few months or the rest of your life on some golden beach, surrounded by some golden girls, huh? That's your dream, isn't it? That's what you've always told me.
Yeah, it would be my dream if I could afford it.
Ah, but you will be able to afford it, Gunther. You see, you'll have all the money you need, all the money you could ever want.
I see. So Wiley thinks I'm dead and he keeps on running?
That's right. Far, far away from his little dancing partner.
And Jody Travis, she comes back to you. Is that what you think?
Never mind what I think, Gunther. What do you think? Does the idea appeal to you?
I think I'd have to think it a little bit more. I think I'd have to think about it very hard.
Didn't think I'd care, but I had the TV set on and I was in the kitchen. I heard the crack of the bat, and when I came out, Lou Levinsky was making a diving catch out in left field. I was hooked all over again.
Well, I guess it'd be nice to use this season ticket sometime. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. It's for two, you know. You can take along a date, sports-minded young lady if you can find one.
I appreciate that.
Drink all right?
Sure, it's fine.
Haven't touched it. Come on, drink up, relax, sit down.
I guess I'm not very relaxed. Actually, I find it hard to believe that this is a purely social invitation. If I'm wrong, I apologize.
Oh, well, you're not entirely wrong. But it's not official either. Look, I thought it was time the two of us got together one-on-one and discussed this little vendetta of yours.
That's what I figured. I know you don't care much for it. You don't mind a cop having it in for the whole underworld, but when it gets personal...
I'll tell you what bothers me about it. The fact that this vendetta is against a dead man.
You're presuming that Jefferson Brown is dead.
I'm not presuming anything. In fact, I'm the kind of guy who likes to check out his facts. That's why I've been doing all this investigating on my own. I've got here every report and newspaper article that was available on Jefferson Brown. You want to see it?
I've read it all.
Well, if you read it all, I don't know why you didn't come up with the same conclusion that I did, that Jefferson Brown is dead, that he died in a plane crash in the Alps. There's no reason to think he walked away from that he's deliberately vanished.
Why not? One passenger did survive. Sky Whitney walked away from that wreck. Sky Whitney walked down that mountainside. If he did it, why couldn't Jefferson Brown have done the same thing?
Gone up and confronted Whitney and asked him about his friend?
No, I haven't.
Well, why not? Don't want him to know who you are?
That's one reason. Another is, Sky Whitney already made his statement to the whole world. When they found him about 2 months after the crash, he told both the authorities and the press that Jefferson Brown was dead and buried in the snow.
And you didn't believe him?
I didn't believe him then, and I don't believe him now.
But why not? The man swears he saw the body of his friend in the snow with his neck broken, yet the wreckage of the plane and the body disappeared into a crevice.
Look, people can lie, and people like Skylar Whitney lie all the time when it suits their purposes.
But why would he lie?
I don't know. If Brown was his friend, then Whitney knew what kind of a guy he was. He certainly knows that he was a thief and a traitor.
You know, I hate to have to say this, but from everything that I've seen, you're the only one who thinks Jefferson Brown stole those State Department documents and not your father.
I'm not the only one. There's another person. William Harwood, Senator Harwood, my father's best friend.
Senator Harwood? He's a friend of the police commissioner, isn't he? I know he is. That's where the pressure came from. That's how you wound up in this department.
Okay, throw me out if you want.
Not gonna throw you out. I just gave you my season pass, didn't I?
I'm sorry. I guess I'm very sensitive about this subject.
Harwood. All right, I can't blame you for being sensitive. I can imagine how much you want to clear your father's name, but you're putting all your eggs in one basket. You're putting everything on Sky Whitney.
Sky Whitney knows what happened to Jefferson Brown. All I have to do is make him reveal the truth somehow.
Somehow. That's the operative word, all right. How?
I don't know yet.
By talking to all his friends or all his enemies? By trying to find Collier Wells? I don't understand that. Just because Collier Wells robbed his Paris apartment?
Look, Sky Whitney made a deal with Collier Wells. That's why Wells is still on the loose. Chief, I know I haven't gotten very far. But I'm not shirking my duties.
I didn't say you were. You're a good cop. You and Calvin, you're my best cops.
Well, that sounds like a compliment.
If you're going to take it like that, forget I said it.
Look, Chief, I'm not going to let you down if that's what you're thinking. I mean, after all, this is my career.
Well, then why don't we drink to your career?
Why not?
Well, I do admit, not every marriage starts with burglary.
And a homicide, my dear.
Oh, please don't bring that up. You know, I actually met that man, Romeo Slater. I should say he met me deliberately so he could get the keys to my house. And I remember thinking, what a nice man. Shows what a great judge of character I am.
Well, Raven, I think we're all inclined to overestimate our abilities to judge character. I've made some grave mistakes in my time.
Yes, but you can get to know someone. That is, if the person is trusting enough to be completely honest with you.
If anyone ever is completely honest.
My husband is with me. You wouldn't believe some of the things he's told me. Well, I mean, we've just gotten very close lately, you know? We understand each other.
I'm glad to hear that.
We're just alike. He wants exactly what I want.
And apparently he has everything you want and more.
Yes, that's right. And that's exactly why this is going to be the most wonderful marriage I have ever had.
Oh, I have a wonderful idea.
What's that?
Why don't we just forget about packing for tonight and follow Jody's example? An early bedtime.
Oh, that sounds good to me.
We can just lie in bed and watch television and think about what life's going to be like in the penthouse.
I know exactly what life is going to be like in the penthouse. We're going to lie in bed and we're going to watch television, and when the time is right, but you can't get there, we will turn out the lights and we will be in our own private world, just the way we are here.
Oh,
Can you get out?
I think so. Well, that is something that I never want to change. You know something? We don't know how Jody feels about this move.
Oh, she's happy being with us, I think, doesn't matter where.
Oh, happy is not the descriptive word for Jody right now. Well, she's been through such a bad time, hasn't she? Been so torn about this dance company.
She's not torn any longer. She finally made up her mind, at least.
Do you think Sky Whitney really believes that she wants to quit?
He heard it from her own lips, didn't he? What more does he need?
Yes, but he's such a persistent man. He won't let anything stand in his way.
I'll tell you, I think he finally met his match. Not in Jody, particularly, but in Gavin. Gavin's got Jody under his spell in the nicest way possible.
I think you're right. You know what I was most relieved about tonight?
What?
The fact that he didn't bring Gunther with him.
Gunther was probably right outside at the wheel.
Can you imagine if that man walked in through that front door with you and Gavin here? There most certainly would have been fireworks.
I was a little worried about what Whitney told us. Gavin had thrown that drink in Gunther's face.
Better than a punch. No pun intended.
Well, I don't even know about that. An oddball like Gunther is likely to think that a punch in the nose is less of an insult than a drink thrown in the face.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But I just hope that Gavin has enough sense to stay away from him from now on.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I seem to have heard that same advice somewhere before.
Well, it goes just as much for you as it does for Gavin.
Oh, listen, don't have to worry. I'm not the hot-headed type, you know.
Yes, but Gavin Wiley I'm not so sure about.
Well, why don't we stop worrying about the future? It has a way of taking care of itself. Let's say you and I go to bed, huh? Well, we'll just make our way through the rubble.
A while.
about time to change your mind, you know.
No, it's time for a change. Besides, the house will always be with me anyway. Stored away with all the good memories. Most of them these.
You'd like to get me away on a tropical island for a few months, maybe forever. You don't like having me around much, do you?
Why, Gunther, how can you say such a thing? You've been such a good and faithful servant throughout the years.
Yeah, I was good and faithful. Well, what did it get me?
You were more than well paid for your faithfulness.
I don't think it hurt your pocketbook any.
You've got an awfully short memory, Gunther. When I first picked you up, you were going down the tubes. I gave you a job when nobody would give you anything but a stretch in jail. I gave you a uniform to wear when you didn't even have a suit of clothes.
Yeah, well, it was all her fault, Roxanne's. Crazy woman. I spent every dime I had for her care, and they still came and threw a net over her.
Yeah. Well, you've been more than well paid for your faithfulness, Gunther, but that obviously wasn't enough. You had to become a blackmailer, too.
Listen, baby. I became a blackmailer because you decided to become a wife killer.
Get up, damn it. My wife is in this house.
Yeah, well, just don't try any of that holier-than-thou stuff on me. Yeah, sure, you know me all right. And I sure as hell know you, too.
You haven't answered my question, Gunther. You want money. You need money. This can get you all the money that you do need.
How much?
You tell me.
Oh, good, you're still home. Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. I don't have to ask how you are. You look terrific.
I just had a real nice talk with Geraldine. Gunther, could you go get me some coffee? Or no, I don't want coffee. It's too late. How about some hot chocolate and cake?
Yes, Mrs. Whitney. I'll have Chrissy make up a tray for you.
So, how is dear old Aunt Geraldine?
Well, she looks pretty good. I think she should be up and about by tomorrow. Isn't she amazing?
Yes. Well, women are amazing. They're always surprising.
Well, I hope this doesn't surprise you too much, but guess what we were talking about?
Me?
Well, about us and about her and about the house and... Sky, how would you feel if Geraldine lived with us? I mean, all the time?
Well, you know how I feel about Geraldine. I mean, I adore her, but Raven, you are the mistress of the house.
Well, you know how I feel about her. I lived in this house with her for years when I first came to Monticello, and she was wonderful to me. She was more maternal to me than my own mother.
Well, actually, you don't have to argue too hard, Raven, because I've had the same idea.
You have?
Mm-hmm. I've thought about you being here at home and me being gone so much, and, well, I know that you love shopping and going out to lunch with the girls and things, but you can only do that so much, and I was concerned about you being here alone.
You do understand. And I would love to have Geraldine around here. I mean, she's so level-headed, and you know me, I need somebody like that around.
Have you spoken to her about it yet?
Well, not yet, but if you agree to it, I'll tell her first thing tomorrow morning.
I've got a better idea. Why don't we both talk to her about it? That way she'll know that we both mean it.
You are wonderful. Guess what I've been telling her about you?
What?
Well, that you're wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But also that she should just forget about the Sky that she used to know because you're much better than the old Sky, Whitney. Oh, I forgot. I'm supposed to just call you darling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Whitney.
Where's my food? I'm starving.
Well, Chrissy's still fixing the tray, but I need to tell Mr. Whitney something.
What is it, Gunther?
That phone call from your business associate, Mr. W.
What about it?
Well, Mr. W. told me to tell you that he's thought over your proposition. And he's definitely interested. In fact, he says he wants to make a deal for $500,000 in cash. And he wants to know what your answer is.
Well, Gunther, you can tell Mr. W. that it's a deal.
Yes, sir.